What's up, YouTube? Alright, let's talk about RX Vega and what I think it's going to do. It really... We've already seen it's not going to be the 1080 Ti. You know, that's nothing new. I think it's going to be the 1080 Founders Edition just fine. And I think it's going to run with most of the 1080 board partner cards. As far as overclocking, AMD, has never been known for their overclocking on their graphics cards ever. I mean, that's just a plain simple fact of it. So if you're expecting a whole lot of performance from overclocking, it's probably not going to happen. It's just not something they're known for. If you want to overclock, if you want top of the line performance, you're still probably going to have to stick with the 1080 Ti. But if you're getting plus 1080 performance for the same price as a 1080, it's pretty impressive. I'm curious to see what the board partners are going to do. Now, I've already heard of I want to say MSI dual chip card coming out, and that's gonna be, of course, it's gonna be special edition. It's gonna be hard to get. It's gonna be a hell of a performer too. That's for damn sure. Now, I'm not inclined to say that RX Vega is gonna be, great on launch day. I'm hoping they've had enough time to get their drivers, in decent order, because we don't want another, RX 480 fiasco where, the card released and just blowed until about 3 or 4 or 5 months later when driver releases come out and then it started gaining ground on the 1060 and actually passed the 1060. Now, if you're expecting that to happen with the RX Vega, as far as passing the 1080, that's not going to happen. That 1080 Ti rather. That 1080 Ti is just it's a monster of a card, and for $800, I mean, you really can't go wrong. I'm not a NVIDIA fan. I'm not an AMD fan. But the 1080 Ti has the performance. So for $800, you're getting a hell of a lot of performance. Now running RX Vega in Crossfire, I'm hearing rumors that AMD's trying to do away with Crossfire support, which I don't know why they would do that. But again, that's just a rumor. Don't take that to heart. If you those of you that already own a 1080, it would not be worth it to buy an RX Vega. Really, even those of you with a 1070, it would not be really worth it to buy an RX Vega. Now, that also comes down to, if you just want an RX Vega, go buy an RX Vega. I'm not telling you not to buy it. I'm not saying it's a bad product or anything. In fact, I don't even have one in hand to tell you if it's good or bad. So on that note, I'd say wait for the reviewers, wait for the the reviews, the testing to be done before you make your purchase. Now on the other flip side of that coin, I'm afraid that card is going to be really hard to get come release day because of miners. That 70 plus millihash per second, it's gonna kill mining. It's just gonna kill at it, and NVIDIA doesn't have anything in the consumer market that can even touch that as far as compute power. So I'm pretty sure that that's just going to decimate all kinds of stock in the RX Vega, at least in the 56 $400 range. The RX Vega 56. I guarantee that's going to be the hardest card to get a hold of. You might have a better chance with the 64, Now, the AMD is doing the packs, the big upgrade pack deals for I think $700, between $600 and $700, and it comes with discounts on building a new system and a single specific Samsung FreeSync monitor that happens to also be $700. In my opinion, it's really not worth it. Most of the people that are going to be buying this card have already got established systems. You're not going to get a whole lot of new builds out of this. And most of your new builds are going to be mid-range anyways. So, from what I've seen at early testing, leaks and stuff, this is nothing in concrete. I think the RX 56 is going to be your bang for the buck card there, much like the Ryzen 1700 versus the Ryzen 1800X. Now the Vega 56 is past 1070 performance, inching up onto the 1080. If the 64 and the 56 are that close together, spend $100 less, get the 56, get two of them, and you're still going to be spending the same as a 1080 Ti, and depending on how they scale, the RX 56 is going to outperform the 1080 Ti. It's going to be a hell of a deal, and even one of those is a lot of graphics horsepower, if you know what I mean. You're going to have any trouble at all rocking games at 100 FPS 1080, 150 FPS 1080. I'm sure it's going to be just a beast of a card. I think the 64 is going to be meant for more of those enthusiasts that want to say they have an RX Vega 64 rather. Just want to say they have that pound power. Something else that's been curious is the amount of compute power on the Vega chips, is astronomical compared to NVIDIA's. I don't know why they can't get that compute power to translate to gaming power, because usually they're somewhat hand in hand depending on drivers. I don't know if it's actually the architecture itself that doesn't that decimates compute but not graphics, or if it's a driver deal, or there's no telling until more testing is done. And I'm sure that some YouTubers are going to touch on that. I recommend you checking out Gamers Nexus, Steve's channel. He's an extremely intelligent, well-versed YouTuber as far as all of that goes, and very open-minded to all possibilities. He's as far as everybody, I think he's the least likely to be compromised by any company. I'm not saying that any of the others are compromised, but he would be the last one I would expect to pad any kind of information or withhold any kind of information, because either he's a fan or he's getting money, something like that. Steve, very knowledgeable. Level 1 Techs is another one. I'm sure they'll do something like that. Those are your more of a hardcore technical aspect of your hardware. So keep an eye on those channels. Definitely going to be where you get your big amount of information for stuff like that. But guys, that's about all I got to. I just wanted to tell you all what I thought about Vega and what I think is going to happen with everything. So just keep your eye out, and if you really want the card, pre-order. But I recommend waiting for the reviews and the testing to be done to see if it's even worth it. You don't want to spend $500 on a Vega and find out, it's the performance of a 1070 at $500 when you could have got a 1080 or saved a little bit and got a 1080 Ti. Nobody wants that. But anyways, guys, if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you didn't, just go away. No, I'm kidding. You can hit that dislike button, and don't forget to subscribe. Guys, we're trying to grow the channel here, and making these videos is something I really like doing. if you like the video quality or the audio quality on this, I just got a new mic, by the way. I'll be doing a little review on that later, and I'll show you my my ghetto-fied pop filter I've got going on here. Anyways, guys, you guys have a good one. I'm gonna get off here and stay cool.